Well, now let's head back to Frankfort for Michael Burke and his interview with the Secretary of State.
All right, Dale, we are back live, and as mentioned, we are with Kentucky Secretary of State Michael Adams. Secretary Adams, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thoughts, first of all, on how the process went last night?
Well, I really couldn't be happier. A year ago, the Kentucky Secretary of State's office was known for one thing across the country: scandals. Today, we're known for being a national leader in how to run an election during a pandemic. I'm very proud of our State Board of Elections, the governor, the county clerks, my staff. We all worked together, and we had a successful day yesterday, and we're a leader now for other states to watch.
So not too much brushback on the lack of polling places in our larger counties?
No, it was very efficient. I'll be the first to admit I was very critical of having so few polling locations, but I'll give credit to the county clerks. They made it work really well yesterday.
Okay, so what can we expect now over the next 6 days? Will it, in fact, take that long to certify this election?
Well, it very well could. We've got hundreds of thousands of absentee ballots yet to arrive. We don't know how many for certain. About half the ones that were issued have come back, but that still leaves a lot of ballots to count. There are actually 24-hour shifts going on to count these. There are so many of them. My guess is in the small counties we'll have numbers earlier than June 30. In the big counties, it might take the full week.
And last question, this is probably a hard one to ask or a hard one for you to answer. What might this process look like in November without knowing, of course, where we're going to be as it relates to COVID?
Well, the November election is 4.5 months away. If you'd asked me 4.5 months ago what's the June primary look like, I'd say, why is there a primary in June? A lot can change. I'll tell you this, I want to be focused on public health. I know the governor will too. I want to have as traditional an election as possible. I don't think we'll have the sort of restrictions that we had for this one. I'm hoping for a regular election. We'll be guided by the science and we'll keep people safe.
And of course, the one that people do want to know about, will mailing in continue to be permissible as we get to November, maybe regardless of where we stand with COVID-19?
Well, the only reason that we had the expanded absentee is because of the act by the governor and me through our emergency powers. If we're not in an emergency in November, then we will not have that. It's not part of our laws. It was something that we did through emergency powers. So I'm powerless to provide for that unless the legislature passes it or I have to use my emergency powers.
Okay, so it's contingent on the guy who also has an office here.
That's exactly right.
We got that. Mr. Secretary, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Michael Adams joining us the day after Kentucky's primary election. Let's send it back to you in the studio.